say this because we talked about 2 weeks ago. We talked about what was the worst trade between Russ and Deshaun Watson, and we said Russ. I'm not gonna lie. I think we're wrong. We might be wrong. Part 2 of this conversation. Let's transition to Deshaun Watson. We sort of alluded to this when we talked about the Browns versus what team are they playing? The Seahawks, right? And you talked about you believe that Deshaun Watson quit on his team.
Sure do.
Here's the thing. I think that your point is valid, but I will say that he's not going to have the benefit of the doubt because of what has transpired off the field and also the contract as well and his bad QB play as well. So those 3 things are going to hurt your chances of anybody believing what you have to say. Talk about, these past 2 years, he was pretty much training and stuff like that. I don't have the quote in front of me, but that was pretty much what he was trying to say, right? Here's my thing. What I will say about Deshaun Watson is that it is the team. If it is the team doctor that cleared him, then here's what I'll say is that team doctors are only going to look out for the best interest of the team. I've heard so many stories. We've heard so many stories about how players were injured, got a second opinion, and found out that whatever the team doctor was saying wasn't right. So that right there, the shoulder injury that he has was supposed to be a 4 to 6 week sort of time frame. But he came back in like maybe 2 weeks, I think it was, a week or 2. So for that alone, he has, I hate to say it, but he might have a point. Now, does it look kind of sketchy? Yes. But at the same time, I will say that the team doctors do only look for the best interest of the team. So they might just say, hey, just take this shot and go back and play damn football. That could be the point. But we don't care because it's Deshaun Watson. And he's not a good dude. So we're not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And he has 230 M's. And he's a bottom 5 QB. Bottom 5 starting QB, excuse me. But let me say this, because we talked about 2 weeks ago, we talked about what was the worst trade between Russ and Deshaun Watson. And we said Russ. I'm not going to lie. I think we're wrong. We might be wrong. Part 2 of this conversation, because what's going on with Deshaun Watson? At least Russell Wilson's playing.
Yeah.
Is he good? No. And then also, it's not like it's fully guaranteed.
Sure.
So, even though it's a lot of money, they can still work around it a little bit. You can't work around 230 fully guaranteed money. It's just not possible because it's fully guaranteed. And because of the injury with the shoulder, because of all the drama surrounding Deshaun Watson and the Browns, because he's not playing well, and because this team is so talented. With P.J. Walker, they was dropping 39, damn near 40 with P.J. Walker.
Yep.
But with Deshaun, you can't do that. You can't move the ball down the field against the Raiders. You can't do any against the Steelers. I think we may have missed the ball on that one. I think we were wrong. I think that Deshaun Watson, that was the worst trade when it came to comparing his trade and Russ's trade, because of all the things that I said, because of the contract, because of the drama surrounding him, because it's 5 years. 5 years.
Man.
What is your thoughts on that?
Well, we all know the contracts are terrible. I will say that I do think Deshaun Watson's contract is probably worse.
Oh yeah, no, that's not even an argument. That's the worst contract in the league, NFL history. But
Well, I mean the trade. The trade was.
we're
the
talking about
worst.
the trade, though.
Yeah, I think the trade was worse for Deshaun Watson because, you get this guy, you pay him all this money for you to compete for a championship. You thought you was getting a top 5 QB guy. Now he's a bottom 5 QB.
Mm-hmm.
He's hurt. Now there's doubts about whether he's actually injured. Now you got this stuff going on in the media. You had this great roster, you got a great defense, and you can't even really capitalize on it because your QB play is subpar. Even when he was on the field, he was still not good. So it's bad. At least with Russ, he's been playing better this year than he was last year, at least. But
Not by a lot.
hey, it's some improvement though. Some
Yeah.
improvement. And the like I said, like last time we discussed about this, at least the Broncos have an exit strategy.
Yeah,
You stuck with Deshaun Watson.
pretty much.
So yeah, that trade is looking worse and worse by the week.
And then here's another thing. Because their roster is super talented, you're not gonna have a high pick.
Yeah.
So guess what? You're stuck with starting Deshaun Watson. What are you going to do? Start P.J. Walker in front of him? No. That's a problem. While with the Broncos, yeah, Russ getting paid all that money, but guess what? It's not fully guaranteed, and you're going to have a high draft pick, so you
No,
can
they
draft
won't.
it. Huh?
No, they won't.
What you mean?
They traded their first for Sean Payton.
No, they got a draft pick this year. They do.
They got a first round pick?
Yeah.
Okay. They must have traded a first they got from somewhere else. Then.
Yeah, man. They got a draft pick this year.
Oh,
Trust-
no. No, that was last year they had the Dolphins pick. So where did they get another first from?
I think it was the Dolphins pick. It was from Bradley Chubb.
I thought that was for last year though. Let me look at Tankathon.
I forget.
I swear they don't.
No. Well. Sean Payton got traded last offseason. So Bradley Chubb got traded during last season. They got the first round pick from Bradley Chubb. It kind of makes sense. I mean, you use that first round pick and you give it to Sean Payton. That was the first round pick they had last year. I don't think they had a first round pick last year until they got the pick from Sean Payton.
I wonder.
They got the pick from Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. Yeah.
Remember, because they gave up like three first round picks for Russ, and they didn't have a first round pick last year until they traded Bradley Chubb.
Okay.
And they used that first round pick for Sean Payton. So
they currently have the 4th overall pick.
Right. So here the thing is, what I'm saying is, okay, it's a lot of money, but Sean Payton's justified because it's not fully guaranteed. And you can cut him, although it's going to be a lot of money, it's not fully guaranteed. And then if you cut him at a certain point, I think it's around June or something like that, then you'll save $30 million or something like that. While with Deshaun, because the team is so talented, you're not gonna have a high pick, and so you're kind of forced to play him because of that money. Like if you bench Deshaun Watson, who's getting paid $60-70 million for a backup, that coach looks stupid. Like the coach that's a fireable offense. That's going to be close to a fireable offense. And so that's why the Deshaun Watson trade is worse, because you're stuck. You're not going to be able to get a QB to replace him. While with the Broncos, you can draft a QB, you can cut Russ at the end, and because you have a rookie quarterback with a rookie salary, you can afford to eat some of that contract because of the rookie salary from the quarterback. And if he plays well, then okay, that's a plus. So yeah. So the people in the comments that were saying Deshaun Watson's trade was worse, I agree with you. This is just part 2 of the conversation.